Hello everyone, it's Rowan from the Eternal Life Fan Club, and today I'm going to be watching this segment of Elon Musk being interviewed by Joe Rogan, and chose this particular segment because it's about the simulated reality, simulation theory, which that topic interests me. So let's see what they're going to have to say here.
Right, yeah.
Because if you're pessimistic, it's going to be miserable.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody wants to be around you anyway. If it's the end of the world, you're like, I fucking told you, bro.
Yeah.
The world's
exactly.
end.
Joe Rogan wearing a pink shirt. People have been judging me because I wore that one shirt with my interview with Pastor Steven Anderson, and it was like pinkish, purplish color. And they were judging me. They were saying that's a feminine color. Well, here we have Joe Rogan wearing pink, so I think I'm exonerated. No, I mean, come on. Pink doesn't always have to be a feminine color. Guys can wear pink.
Yeah. It is what it is for all. I mean,
enjoy the journey.
Right, if you really want to get morose, I mean, it is what it is for all of us anyway. We're all going to go, unless something changes.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, even if we just sort of existed as humans forever, we'd still eventually, that'd be like the heat death of the universe.
Right.
A zillion years from now.
Right, even if we get it past the sun. If we figure out a way past the sun running out of juice.
Eventually, it's going to end. It's just a question of when.
Right.
You see how they're talking here about the heat death of the universe, and it's like the way they're talking about it, they're talking about it in a way where it sounds like they're claiming to know that this is the future, that the heat death of the universe is inevitable, that it's going to happen. It's like a matter of fact. That annoys me. It's like, yes, they're talking about it so matter-of-factly, as opposed to just, putting out there being a hypothesis. Hey, maybe there's this heat death of the universe that's going to happen. And even if the heat death of the universe was going to happen, you'd think someone like Elon Musk, okay, he's supposed to be some great thinker, and why doesn't he put forth the possibility that maybe humanity can even solve that problem? It's like you can even maybe solve the heat death of the universe. It's like I get so triggered with the heat death, the universe stuff. It's like I get all these flashbacks because so many people have brought forth that argument as far as that being a reason why I'm not going to get to live forever because the heat death, the universe. And no, that's silly. So it's like, yeah, he's pretending to know. So I have a quote for him, okay? This is a quote by Rachel Weisz. Rachel Weisz. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And she said, I think doubt is a really important function of thought. To be able to doubt things which are perceived to be true, like the simulation, the simulation theory, that's another one. But the heat death of the universe, that is a perceived truth, and it's not necessarily the truth. So what she's talking about here, Elon Musk needs to get this. Like, he's talking about this like it's a fact that the heat death of the universe is going to kill everyone. It's stupid. She says, you can never know for sure that something is absolutely true. Yes, thank you for your wonderful wisdom. She's the girl that played Hypatia. Gotta watch that movie. Agora. It's called Agora. And it's great. So anyways, let's go on. Oh, wait, I have another quote. I have another quote for these people. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said, pretending to know everything closes the door to finding out what's really there. So, that's kind of ironic, though, because this guy also, I think he also pretends to know that the heat death of the universe is going to happen. This is one of these guys that, always talks about the heat death of the universe as though it's inevitable. So he's not even following his own advice, really, because he's pretending to know that you guys see what I'm saying. Anyways, let's go on.
So it really is all about the journey.
Or transcendence from whatever we are now into something that doesn't worry about death.
How is that transcendence? I mean, that's not... So something to transcend into something that doesn't worry about death, as Joe Rogan put it. That is going backwards. That's dumb. You want to be concerned about death. That is smart.
About death.
The universe as we know it will dissipate into a fine mist of cold nothingness eventually.
And then someone...
Prove your clam. Prove your clam, Elon Musk. You don't know that the universe is going to dissipate into a mist of fine nothingness. This is what I'm talking about. Ridiculous.
Mist of cold nothingness eventually.
And then someone's going to bottle it and put a fragrance to it. Sell it to French people in another dimension.
It's just a very long time. So
Yeah.
I think it's really just about how can we make it last longer.
Are you a proponent?
See, it's like the thought is not fully evolved, you know? I feel like his thought process is not evolved to the point of eternal life, because why would you just want to make it last longer? Like making life last longer, as he just said, right? Isn't that what he just said?
Very long time. So
Yeah.
I think it's really just about how can we make it last longer.
Yeah, okay. Well, how about this? Let's finish the thought. Let's finish that. How about making life last forever? Isn't that the ideal? Why did he stop it at making it last longer? Why not just... The logical conclusion is just like, let's live forever. Oh, wait. I forgot. Elon Musk is a deathist. This is what he had to say. Elon Musk said, "I'm not actually a huge proponent of longevity. I definitely don't want to live forever." So, this is who we're talking about here. It's like, he has failed to grasp the most important concept in the world, which is that living forever is possible and it's desirable. So let's go on.
Are you a proponent of the multi-universes theory? Do you believe that there are many, many universes, and that even if this one fades out, that there's other ones that are starting fresh right now, and there's an infinite number of them, and they're just constantly in this never-ending cycle of birth and death?
I think most likely, this is just about probability, there are many, many simulations. These simulations are, we might as well call them reality, or you could call them the multiverse.
These simulations, you believe, are created? Like someone has manufactured?
They're running on a substrate.
So...
That substrate is probably boring.
Boring?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Well, when we create a simulation, like a game or a movie, it's a distillation of what's interesting about life. You know, like it takes a year to shoot an action movie, and then that's all distilled down into.
Anyways, I've seen the rest of this. They talk about the simulation theory. He's pretty darn confident that we're living in a simulation from the sound of it. He definitely thinks it's like the most likely scenario is that we're in a matrix. I don't know. I just kind of think of the simulation theory as wishful thinking, but it's possible. So, you know, that'd definitely be desirable. I would hope we're in a simulation, because if this is a simulation, then that means that there's someone in control of the simulation, and that puts us at better odds that we're actually gonna get to live forever. The fact that there would be an architect of the simulation, right? Or because that leaves room for then the possibility of there being some kind of protection. Like if there's a simulator, if there's an architect, then maybe he could protect he or she or whatever. It's basically God. Like when people talk about the simulation theory, this is what it gets me. Like, don't these people realize that they're basically putting forth a God hypothesis? Because if the simulation theory is true, that's basically a God. It's a God of a sort. I mean, what else is that? I mean, if there's a simulator, if there's an architect, that's a powerful being right there. That is power. That is power to either help us live forever or destroy us. I mean, the possibilities are endless. If the simulation theory is true, that really leaves room for the possibility of a judgmental God that's watching us and sees everything we're doing. And it's the whole fear of the hypothetical God scenario. But for some reason, these people who really tout the simulation theory and they believe in it so much, they're so confident of it, they don't take that simulation theory to the logical conclusion. And what does it mean if we're in a simulation? It means, like, they don't ever talk about it, like, in that context. They don't ever say, like, it means we're all being watched and better be careful what you do, you know? Yeah, like, think about that. If we're in a simulation theory, everything you're doing is being recorded and watched and judged. So, I mean, potentially judged. And what you're doing could potentially be judged as far as whether or not you're going to be worthy to even be allowed to live forever. You know? And that's the whole thing about the transhumanist. The transhumanists, it's like, the transhumanists have to admit, they should admit that the ball is not entirely in their court necessarily. Meaning that there might be an outside control factor that gets to determine if they get to live forever. If they even get to. Like there might be a test of some sort that you need to pass. A morality test. Where you might be judged if you disobeyed the rules. And this is why I talk about this whole fearing the hypothetical God thing. It's just a practical thing we can do to just increase our odds that you know, we might live forever. So anyways, what's his shirt say there? Occupy what? Occupy...
Being filmed? It's boring. Super boring.
Can't see the bottom of his shirt. Anyways, we'll just leave it with this. How about this? Occupy eternal life. How's that for an idea? You know, take your eternal life seriously. And if you believe in the simulation theory, don't let that remove your fear of death. Because I do fear that all these atheists are believing in the simulation theory, and it's basically their version of heaven. If you believe in the simulation theory, that basically... Now, I'm not judging you for your beliefs. You can't control what you believe, but like the simulation theory, in some context, that could make it so that you're not fearing death as much, because you might get this strange idea that, oh, if you die, you just wake up in the in the real world. But this isn't the real world, and you think if you die, you might get another chance. It's the same thing with the same danger of the heaven, you know, religious concept of heaven, the same danger as the concept of reincarnation, this whole idea that you get another chance at life. That is a dangerous concept, so be wary. Be aware that could remove your fear of death if you buy into that too much. So let all that stuff just be a wishful thinking, a hypothesis. Could be, but don't count on those things. That's my message for all the Eternal Life fans, and I'll bring it back to the heat death of the universe as well. Like the heat death of the universe, like that. Let's say the heat death of the universe will happen if we don't intervene and stop it. Okay, that's possible. Then we have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of time to figure it out. So all these people who just like act like we're all going to die from the heat death of the universe, they're absolutely being ridiculous. They're not deep thinkers. They're really close-minded. They don't have an open mind to all the possibilities. The possibility that we could even solve a problem as big as the heat death of the universe with technology, why isn't that possible? That's my question to everyone. Thank you, and may you live forever.